Captain Jackson, known among the soldiers of our unit by his nickname Little Man, stood out for his small stature, big nose, and perpetually suspicious squint. He was strict and picky, always looking for something for the soldiers to do, and did not like it when they sat idle. Once on a day off, when the kid was in charge, instead of resting and watching TV, we, including other soldiers, spent the whole day doing formation training and household chores. In the morning, the captain asked the guys who were doing civilian construction work to step out of formation. I stepped forward confidently, as my father had taught me a lot. Jackson selected 3 of us, including me, and took us to his house. He set us the task of installing a summer shower, covering it with polycarbonate, and laying paving stones from the house to the shower. We set to work, feeling the captain's gaze on us. The day was hot, and we stripped down to our waists. At lunchtime, a car pulled up and a girl named Milana got out. She brought us some delicious food and set up a table in the gazebo. After lunch, Milana suggested swimming in the river, which was not far from the village. She changed into shorts and a t-shirt and we headed to the beach. It was quiet and deserted. Only the silhouettes of a few fishermen could be seen in the distance. We bathed and talked and then lay on the sand enjoying the sun and the fresh air. Milana told me about her life, and I told her about my time in the army. Time flew by and we had to go back to the house. By evening, we finished our work and the captain, though reluctantly, took us back to the unit. Despite his strictness and pickiness, I was grateful to him for the opportunity to work and meet Milana. That meeting became one of the most vivid memories of my army service. "Can you swim?" Milana asked, when we were on the bank of the river. I smiled and replied that I grew up on the river and had known how to swim since I was 5 years old. "Will you teach me?" she continued, and I nodded my head, agreeing to help her learn to swim. Milana stripped down to her swimsuit and showed off her beautiful body, slender legs, firm breasts, and then bravely entered the water, trying to swim to shore, but she was having a hard time. I walked over to her and held onto her shoulders and stomach to help her keep her balance. Our bodies accidentally touched, and she held my hand as if thanking me for the support. "Let's go to that little beach house," she suggested, and we stepped out of the water. Inside the cabin, a small wooden table and 2 chairs were waiting for us. Milana leaned on the table and smiled at me as if encouraging me not to doubt my abilities. I didn't show my doubts, demonstrating that a soldier is always ready for battle. We spent about half an hour in the lodge, resting after swimming. We kissed. She was a passionate girl. After passionate minutes, we took another dip in the coolness of the river, and after a short rest, we headed back. In the evening, the captain arrived, who was dissatisfied with our work and expressed his displeasure. He called us slackers and said that tomorrow he would take other guys to work. I never saw Milana again after that day. A month later, flipping through the local newspaper, I saw Milana's picture among several girls in sports swimsuits. The article was about how the women's swim team in our neighborhood had won 2nd place at the championship. I approached the captain and asked if Milana was his wife, and if she was involved in swimming. The captain was surprised and told me that Milana was his favorite wife and that she had been swimming since she was 10 years old and had even competed in the Olympics 2 years ago. Smiling, I turned and walked on. My captain never found out about my affair with his young wife, a punishment for his temper.